John Deere offers more choices, increased capacity, and added reliability for corn growers around the world. Our irrigation solutions are designed to become part of your operation and to help increase your profitability. John Deere, committed to those who are linked to the land.
The picturesque, steep forested ravines and open moorland characterize the beautiful Aberdare ranges that soar to peaks of 13,000 feet. The ranges are home to exclusive view that people who call this area home and mountain climbers are privy to. Daniel Gakuo is one such man. An accountant by profession and a pastor of the community, Daniel is a man of many passions, one of which he simply hasn't been able to shake off, even after 36 years.
My name is Daniel Gakuo. I'm located in Nyeri County, Kieni constituency. This place is called Mbaligo, near Indarasha town. It's an area where onions are mostly grown as a cash crop. Currently, my passion is doing red onion farming. I've been doing it since 1992. That is when I developed the interest of doing this farming. But this was not my original work. I'm an accountant by profession, and I've tried a lot of many things. And every time I got engaged in these other works or jobs, I later saw myself getting back to the shaba. So I later decided, and so my work is farming.
Born and raised in central Kenya, Daniel watched as his dear parents, brimming with energy, worked in their family shamba for most of his young life. But they were not the only ones.
Our parents, they were doing the cultural method of farming. It's not that it was agribusiness. It was this subsistence farming. So I developed an interest when I was even in standard 4. I had my small shaba where I was doing my farming, and that is when I developed my passion.
After high school, things radically changed. His father envisioned another life for his son. He wanted the privileges that came with a white-collar job for his son.
Each and every time I did accountancy.
I believe some of us feel the way I feel, like we're in church. So I'm tempted to say praise the Lord. But whichever way you want it, everything starts from God and we'll still go back to God. I know it's a cold day, so I'm going to crave your indulgence. We're going to do something now. Can we all rise? Stand to your feet with me. Okay. Let's get a bit warm. Let's get a bit warm. Can you go to like 5 people and give them high 10? Not high 5, high 10, both hands. 5 people, 2, 3. Can we extend it to more 5? More 5 people, give them high 10. Yeah. Okay. Some people are not moving from the spot where they are. So I'm going to ask those of us on this side, can we go to that side and say hello to those? And those people there say hello. Let's go around. You might not know, the person you're giving a high five might be the person that will take you to the next level with that $1 million Agricbusiness contract. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Maoga. Let's do it. Thank you. Let's have the camaraderie spirit. All right. Are we a bit warm? Or some of us, if you are still cold, let me see your hand. I'll just need you to run from here to Ojota and back, and then you'll be fine. All right. Please, you may be seated for now. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. It is not in my place to have the formal welcome, but I'll be your host for today, your errand boy, your house boy. Our speakers are around. Please, if your hands are not too busy, can we give our speakers a round of applause? And also, can we give a round of applause to the visionary, my brother, my friend, African farmer. I'm still waiting for that 12 baskets of maize. Yes, I love maize. And when you put it with beans, adalu. Yeah, it's fantastic. But right now, as we all know, today is the 59th birthday of our nation. And then we can't leave our nation out. We need to celebrate our nation. And in one way, we're going to celebrate our nation and also celebrate you, the backbone of the new Nigeria. Is we'll take the national anthem of the greatest nation on planet Earth, Nigeria. Can we all rise, please? Okay. Do we sing it together to show commitment? I believe so. We can hum as the sound is playing. Let's sing together. That is a prayer to our nation. Can we all sing it with all joy, with all zest, and confidence that this country will change? God of creation. If you love Nigeria, give Nigeria a round of applause and have your seats. I would like to pick a line from that. To build a nation. But I'd like to add, to build a nation where nobody will go to bed hungry, but because you are here today in Jesus' name. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Agricbusiness Africa Conference, where we will be covering buy local, grow together, and make profit. Like I said, it is not in my place to have the formal welcome. Allow me to welcome my friend, my brother, a distinguished Nigerian, an icon of excellence. Please welcome me, African farmer. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping.
Good morning. Wow, the weather is cold. Good morning. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that the day is beautiful. If you are in the agric space, you should love the rain, because without the rain, there will be drought. When there is drought, we will go hungry. When there's hunger, people die. So I'm happy that you defiled nature to be here. Please put your hands together for yourself. And to see quite a lot of people come very early, I'm sure that we are going to be food secure very, very soon. Please put your hands together again. So I'm excited about the youths, really. Do we have the youths in the house? No, I can't hear the youths. Do we have the youths in the house? Yeah, so it's a youthful call, because I'm seeing some 60s saying I'm youthful. Thank you for coming. A few years ago, I caught a vision to create a platform where the private sector can indeed influence the activities and the outcomes within the agric sector. And so the first we did in 2013, which was a small project. About 200 people came, and we've had quite a lot of testimonies of people who have taken action. And so we'll be having someone who will be sharing his journey, not success, because he still has a long way to go. And so you can expect that. This is going to be the first of the series. I'm hoping, I'm believing that every 1st of October, we will be gathered here from next year to share quite a lot of progress, the progress we've made, such that we can have a conversation. One of the outcomes of this program is for us to be able to showcase to government, to give direction to government. We all know that government is trying to do quite a lot of things. The border has been shut. Well, they say temporarily. But the border has been shut. But I say that it's supposed to be an opportunity. However, it's also going to be a challenge. A challenge if we all don't embrace the opportunities. Government doesn't really care about who takes advantage of the gap. All government wants is to be able to ensure that the citizens are food secure. But I see a challenge where foreigners, and there's nothing bad in foreigners taking advantage, but guess what? It's for us. And that's why we chose the theme: buy local, grow together, and make profit. We've heard a lot about rice, tomatoes. All the food, our staples, are going very, very expensive because of that border closure. And my favorite quote is from Napoleon Hill. It states that out of every adversity comes a greater or equal opportunity, provided we can see it. So I'm hoping that when we leave this place today, we will be working together to leverage the opportunities that the border closure, the temporary challenge, will bring. I met a man not too long ago who was lamenting about the prices of cassava. And he sold his cassava at 50% less than cost. He uprooted the cassava, took it to the market, sold it at peanuts. However, after selling all and making huge losses, he discovered that less than 10 minutes to his farm was a Chinese firm who bought the cassava at 50% markup. And two, his plantain that he sold also at a loss. They not only buy the plantain, they buy the stock of the plantain too. So he lost everything but right about 10, 12 minutes away from him, the opportunity was there. One of the reasons why the sector is not developing is that everybody is operating in isolation. Last Thursday, I was speaking to a group of cooperatives, and one person was lamenting how he could not sell his pigs. Immediately, somebody in front shouted, "We have demand. We need you to supply." And guess what? The supply that man wanted, if he sold all his stock, it was not enough for the man. And yet he was lamenting. So we need to come together to be able to give direction to this sector and to ensure that government intervention gets to the right people. It's not getting to the right people because we're not paying attention. I reasoned this. I did like a 4-year research, and I found out that when Nigeria was leveraging on the opportunities in the value chain, when the Igbo man was supplying palm oil, when the Yoruba man was producing cola nuts for the Hausa man, and the Hausa man was producing the grains, we all saw each other as partners. You don't fight your partners because you grow together. And that's what we need to embrace again. There's all this infighting now because we are not trading together. So we need to go back and trade together, and we all can make this happen. When we're finishing today, we'll be working together for 3 months, an average of 3 months. Information is missing, and we don't find quite a lot of people who are willing to stretch, to share knowledge. So within 3 months, please, I appeal to you, whatever you are looking at, there's nothing you can think about that is not profitable in agribusiness. You only need to be in the right network. I would always say on our radio program that money is the least resource you need to succeed in agribusiness. We'll play a clip now of one of the few young men who attended the 2013 free seminar like this, and he took action. It's very important that we take action immediately. We supported him with information, just information, and today it's a different ball game. Biodun also is here physically. He was speaking to us briefly. Can we play the video, please? 2013, I think that was 6 years ago, and started on 5 acres of land. We just gave him information on where to access underutilized government lands, especially with irrigation. Biodun proceeded immediately, got there, accessed 5 acres, from 5 acres to 30 acres, and I just called him last year. So every year, beginning of the year, we'll speak to plan the year. Mid-year, we'll talk to reevaluate. And I just asked him, what's the capacity that you're operating on now? And Biodun told me, as of 2018, Biodun is cultivating 500 acres of corn. From 5 acres to 500 acres out of his 1,500 acres. And the land even still belongs to government. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Biodun Olorundero. I'm sure you know I'm proud.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity, African Farmer. Thank you for the free seminar 6-7 years ago. It was just a coincidence. Okay, I'm a member of the Star Church, and I was into poultry farming. And so what happened was we had this price of grains went up at the time. And so we're like, where do we get grains? At the time, I remember that one of the grains that we used from the field mill came from the US. You know, that was when I knew we actually get to import maize into Nigeria from the US. I didn't even know. And so somehow I went to my home fellowship system that day, and then I saw this flyer, you know, something Agric ATM. Okay, let me attend. And I attended. And just at that seminar, I paid so much attention. I've been seeing him. I didn't even know who he is or, what kind of person he is. And then immediately after that seminar, I got information about Ogonsho River Basin. The last I heard about that was probably on TV or while I was in the classroom. I didn't know anything about. And probably the seminar was on a Friday or Thursday, I can't remember. Got back home, went online, checked where the offices are, and then first thing on Monday morning, I headed straight to Abeokuta, the headquarters of Ogonsho River Basin, and I met the people in charge, and they gave me different locations, Okeodon, Mokoloki, and then left Abeokuta, came back to Lagos, spoke with a friend, and then we headed straight to Okeodon, met the project manager, and then the rest is history. And if at the time I got to Okeodon, lands were not available on the Ogonsho River Basin, somehow I got land, about 5 acres, that's about 2 hectares, from the PM. And then we started. It's been a rough journey. I tell you that it's not smooth, I'll tell you that the first year, I made loss. I bought too much grains. I saw too much seeds, more than what I required to plant. The people who were on ground to work as a laborer and who would mislead you, would want to just, for the moment they hear you are coming from Lagos, they believe you are coming with money. But, but I didn't give up. I stood my ground, and then I continued. Year in, did cassava, did maize, and, but 2016, I went as far as cultivating as much as about 80 hectares of maize. Got to know about this hybrid seed, and then, I did better. And I began to, improve myself. I would talk to him, this is the challenge I'm going through, what do I do? And then somehow, I remained in the industry. If I could not even see myself doing any other thing apart from agriculture, I read economics, and so I didn't even, I was telling my colleagues in Ibadan 2 weeks ago at a reunion, the time I took agriculture was while I was in junior school, GS2. So I never took agriculture as a subject. But I think that today, based on what I know, I would say that I'm almost an authority on corn farming. I'm sure African farmer doesn't even know. I was telling somebody, so I said, I think I know more than African farmer today on corn production. Yes, because, and we saw that, see, if you can do it, it's worth the while. And based on what I've done, based on my experience, of course, Nigeria's average on yield for corn is about 1 ton. In fact, some farmers don't even do up to a ton, today. And somehow in 2017, we partly started because our machines didn't come in on time. We had to bring in machines. And I will tell you today that profitable agriculture requires investments. And it probably goes beyond one individual, right, putting in money. So 4 of us own this farm. We are called Aquashoot Nigeria. And we are somewhere in Oyo State. And then last year was when we did our major production, right? And then we didn't do too well, right? But we did about 3.54 tons per hectare. Now, if you get to my farm today, conservatively, because we have improved, and on year in, year out, we keep on as of today. I can tell you that we have fresh corn. Unfortunately, I didn't come in from the farm. I was hoping that if I was going to come from, I would have probably brought in some fresh corn, for people to eat. To this year, conservatively, we are looking at doing minimum of 7 tons yield per hectare. And I'm not kidding you. Last year, our total turnout was about 900 tons. In fact, the first company who supplied at Ibadan with our trailer, when they saw our yield, they said it is not possible. That because they get their yield, their grains from the north, and they were like, they needed to see that we did not import these grains. And they said we didn't import. We had to send pictures of our combine harvester. Oh yes, we have a combine harvester. We have a 16-row maize planter. And I tell people today, you cannot manually cultivate corn. The day you do that, you are running at a loss. We have a 16-row planter. We have a 4,500 liter boom sprayer. So it's a huge, how do I say it now? It's a huge exercise for me. 3-4 weeks. My family is in Lagos. 3-4 weeks on the farm. And it's a lot of work. But I want to encourage us today. I'm not the major speaker. I'm just sharing a bit of testimony. That see, the journey of 1,000 miles, right, starts with what? A step. All I did was to take a step. I got information from an African farmer, looked for the land, and I started. And from where I was located to come and partner. I didn't have so much resources, right? But because I'd stayed in industry, I'd gotten my fingers burnt, right? And then I'm not doing so well now, right? But I am better off than where I started off 6-7 years ago. I hope with these few points of mine, a few of you, or a number of you will be encouraged to start something at the end of today. Thank you very much.
Mr. Abiodun, don't go. I want to ask you in presence of everybody. Let me know if I will change my career or not. Because what I'm hearing, sitting down there, so on a yearly basis, between you and I don't want them to hear. Just tell me, how much do you make?
Okay, so let me just give you a conservative figure, right? Last year, we did around 3.5 tons per hectare, which is still low, right? And we sold average at about 90,000 per ton. But this year, conservatively, we are doing 7 tons. And I'm telling you what is on ground. You may want to come and visit my farm. It's very open. Conservatively, we are doing 7 tons. In fact, some guys have come. A guy from South Africa came and said, this farm is going to be doing minimum of 10 tons. So, but we are saying, let's just do 7 tons, right? And if we're saying at 90,000, the border closure, and I tell people, say, government policy, don't be too quick to criticize government policy, right? Somehow it's favorable. We're saying this year, if we do 90,000 naira per ton, and we are doing 7 tons per hectare, multiply, this year we only scale down to do 150 hectares because of the lot of work. Multiplying 90,000 by 7 tons per hectare times 150 hectares, and then you have an idea of what we are.
Calculator. We will talk later. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give Mr. Biodo a round of applause? Wow. And I have land in my village doing nothing, fenced round. But the amazing thing is the narratives will be changed by virtue of this conference today. Farming will become the new slave. Yeah, farming will become the new slave. Farming will become the in thing in our world. Just before we go to our first speaker, we'll take a short profile of our speaker. Please, may we have the videos?
Folake graduated as a pharmacist from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He has about 2 decades of broad experience in the pharmaceutical industry, a dynamic leader with a record of outstanding performance and leadership in diverse roles of increasing responsibilities. Folake has cross-cultural experiences across boundaries in Nigeria, Ghana, and East African countries. Currently the General Manager of RX and Country Chair, Nigeria-Ghana for Sanofi, a diverse global healthcare company with headquarters in France. Folake assumed this role since 1st October 2017. He holds a Master's of Business Administration from Lagos State University and a Master's of Science in Marketing from Edinburgh Business School, Howard Watts University in the UK. Folake loves God and passionate about inspiring greatness in others. She will be speaking on entrepreneurship, opportunities in adversity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Folake Odediran.
Make that applause a reverberating one, please.
Thank you very much. You can clap some more for yourselves. So good morning, everyone. It's a wet morning. Rain is good. I have mixed emotions for so many reasons. It's the first time I'll be standing. I know it's not a church program, but when you get to stand on this altar, you get to have those butterflies in your stomach. I consider it a great privilege and a rare honor. African farmer, my brother, my uncle, as I call you, and my friend, thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much, great audience, for trusting me. I'm not an agric person. I'm not an expert, as it were, in the agric space. I've been asked to speak about positioning yourself for success. And so it's just a few considerations that I'll be sharing with us, and I will attempt to do that. So while my profile was being read, I saw the bit about ABU, the bit about MBA and UK, blah, blah. What that profile didn't tell you was that it started in Niger State at Central Primary School, Pandogari, where the assembly hall is an outer space, like it is with most schools. And we had 2 flags like this, maybe not 2, just 1, hung up on a high pole. And then in the morning we say, arise, compatro Nigerian Kwalobe. Did that get you cracking up? I'm just saying, success is a journey. I mean, I can't even remember if I actually know what the lyrics for the Nigerian national anthem was, until probably I was in secondary school. Red low, and then when we finish, we'll say, pre. Are you pre? Yes. But that was then. So I'll be speaking to us very quickly. I recognize I'm in the presence of greatness, so I'll just attempt to share with you my story, so it's not just probably the things I've read up. So I'll be speaking to us very quickly about positioning for success. How do you position yourself for success? Whether in the agric space, whether you're in career, whether in your personal life. How do you begin that journey towards success? I listened to Mr. Biodun's testimony, as it were, and I heard him saying, It's not much. He kept on using the word, it's not much. Something like maybe we're not there. And in my mind, I'm like, you're positioned. That's the success. Because success, in my view, if we can have the first slide, please. Excuse me. Okay, quickly, I'll just run us through the agenda. We'll look at what success is and attempt at its definition, the dimensions of success, a focus on personal dimension of success. So just to narrow it down so that probably it can fit the agenda of today. A few key points that you probably want to go home with, and I will make an attempt to bring my story to an end. So what is success? What, in your view, do you think success is? So success is a very subjective subject. And it's subjective because it means different things to different people. What success is, probably for me, is not what it is for you. For a lot of people, they think success is that day when you attain great height and you are recognized and probably you have a big name with a big title and a lot of money and probably a big car. But just maybe success is that day when you decide to act. Like Mr. Biodun said, that you can influence. I've chronicled 7 items